Hello, my name is Colleen Jones, and today I would like to walk you through my teaching philosophy, what grounds my approach, how I bring it to life in learning environments, and the values that shape how I connect with learners. I believe that education is one of our society's most powerful equalizers, with the capacity to transform individual lives and strengthen entire communities. My teaching philosophy is grounded in the intentional design of learning experiences, not the passive recital of information, but the crafting of educational journeys that are competent, accessible, relatable, and creative. I am deeply committed to dismantling educational disparities by centering the whole learner. I don't view students as a monolith, but as diverse individuals who bring unique experiences, strengths, and learning styles into the space. I intentionally design with multiple strategies to ensure inclusivity and equity, honoring various ways of knowing and being. By recognizing and embracing diverse identities, perspectives, and talents, I aim to cultivate environments where all learners feel both valued and empowered, not just to receive knowledge, but to actively co-create and contribute to the learning process. I see teaching as a collaborative act of community building, one that prepares learners to engage meaningfully with the world around them and take ownership of their educational experiences. Through intentional, student-centered design, I strive to inspire lifelong curiosity, foster critical thinking, and co-create learning spaces that contribute to a more equitable, culturally grounded, and inclusive future. Addressing diversity is not an afterthought in my teaching practice. It is a core value. I intentionally design learning experiences that recognize, affirm, and celebrate the unique identities and learning styles students bring into the space. Some strategies I use include choosing culturally diverse content, making sure the examples, stories, and materials reflect the learner's backgrounds and lived experiences. I aim to include voices that are often left out of traditional lessons and create space where all perspectives are welcomed and explored. Setting clear expectations for all participants is also key in building a supportive and respectful environment where students feel safe to engage fully in the learning experience. I also make sure to switch up how learning happens, offering a variety of ways for students to connect with material and show what they've learned. Whether it's through writing, discussions, hands-on work, or creative projects, I want every student to have a way in. Lastly, I treat students' cultures and experiences as strengths, not side notes. I welcome them to share stories, family traditions, or community connections, and use these to deepen our collective learning. To me, diversity is a powerful source of creativity, connection, and growth. When students feel seen, respected, and included in every part of the experience, they are more likely to show up as their full selves, and that's where the real learning happens. In my work, often rooted in art, culture, and history, I approach content delivery as an immersive and multisensory experience. I intentionally incorporate sight, sound, touch, smell, and even taste elements when possible. This approach transforms learning from a static history lesson into a lived experience where learners don't just learn about something, they feel, see, hear, smell, and even taste it. For example, if I were teaching about traditional Ghanaian cuisine, the experience might include listening to oral histories or music from Ghana, smelling spices used in jollof rice, tasting samples, or even preparing dishes as a group. This kind of experimental learning activates multiple parts of the brain and allows for greater memory retention and deeper personal connection to the content. Because learners express understanding in different ways, I believe in offering multiple modes of assessment. While some students thrive in traditional fact-based quizzes, others may demonstrate their knowledge through application, synthesis, or creative expression. Continuing with the Ghanaian cuisine example, students might be asked not to just list ingredients, but to recreate a dish, narrate its cultural significance, or connect it to a broader historical or diasporic themes. This goal is not simply recall, but depth of understanding and meaningful engagement. To motivate learners, I prioritize agency, relevance, and relationship. I offer students choice and voice in how they learn, providing options in pace, format, and content focus when possible. I also root my teaching in cultural relevance, drawing connections between course content and students' lived experiences, backgrounds, and aspirations. I create learning experiences that feel meaningful, not just task-driven. I ask, how does this connect to who you are, what you care about, and what you can do with it? Building trust and mutual respect is also foundational. I listen actively, celebrate progress, and cultivate a culture where every learner feels seen and supported. When it comes to behavior, I take a compassionate and proactive approach, aligned with my philosophy of seeing the whole learner. I believe that most behavioral issues stem from unmet needs, disengagement, or a disconnect between the learner and the learning. Rather than enforcing rigid discipline, I seek to understand the root cause. Is the student bored, overwhelmed, feeling unseen? I respond by re-engaging the student, reconnecting them to the material in a way that feels relevant, empowering, and human. This might mean offering alternative ways to participate, checking in one-on-one, or adjusting the environment to better suit their needs. I also incorporate restorative practices, encouraging reflection, accountability, and repair rather than punishment. Connection is the heartbeat of my teaching practice. I build relationships through cultural humility, empathy, and consistent presence. I take time to learn my students, their stories, strengths, struggles, and dreams. I communicate that their voices matter, that they belong, and that this learning space is as much theirs as it is mine. By aligning my methods with my core values, accessibility, creativity, community, and compassion, I aim to create learning experiences that are not only impactful, but transformative. Thank you so much for listening. I'd love to hear any questions or thoughts that you have. Let's keep this conversation going.